That's what we call a silent, scary opening. Episode 41, Average Guy Opinions. I am your average guy. Excuse me, John Corelli. Yeah, I'm fanboying it up. My defection from the NFL to hockey is complete. Yeah, hi, kitty. Don't knock over the camera, I'll kill you dead. My grandpa used to say that, who was a big New York Rangers fan, by the way. Kill you dead. Anyway, and here to make it complete. Yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, if I can't inform, I'll just annoy. I'll just do that. Okay, so this is kind of a backup to my abandoning of the NFL a couple nights ago after that debacle that we called Super Bowl 55. I really want to stick with it. Like I said, I've got 3 New Year's resolutions I'm trying to stick with. The first one is no internet porn. Second one was is no Amazon purchases. And I think those are pretty lofty New Year's resolutions and hopefully lifelong resolutions. So, today I will talk about how hockey is the best sport. I will make my arguments for it being the best sport, even though arguably it's the least popular sport of the major four, at least in the United States. Excuse me. I'm itchy. Maybe I should just act like a hockey player, start spitting, fighting. I don't know. But I will make my arguments for hockey and why the other 3 sports have gone by the wayside for me as I've grown and gotten older. First one to drop was baseball. Baseball has never been very exciting for me. I also was never good at it as a kid when I played, so baseball was easy for me. It's too pedantic. We had minor league baseball here when I was a kid, the Denver Bears, and it was kind of cool because their uniforms looked a lot like the Bad News Bears uniforms. It would have been great if they would have maybe had Chico's bail bonds on the back of the uniform, but they didn't. And they played here maybe into the 90s, definitely 70s and 80s. They shared the stadium with the Broncos back when stadiums did that. That's something that my generation will know that the new generation won't. They look at old footage of old football games. Why was there dirt there? It's like, yeah, they used to share stadiums because it made sense. Anyway, so baseball's done. The Rockies are also a franchise that's been here since 1993, but this is such a melting pot city that they're putting butts in the seats no matter what. They don't have to put a great product on the field because go to a Cubs game against the Rockies sometime at Coors Field and see how many Cubs fans are there. Cardinals fans, Dodgers fans, any team that travels decently, Mets, those fans will be there. So basketball, Nuggets have never done anything. I think they went to the Western Conference Finals once or twice. Look at this. Would you look at this? Come here, come on. Yeah. Thank you. It's a good kitty. Nuggets were fun to watch in the 80s. They've gotten good again lately, but no one's getting by LeBron. So the Nuggets, if they win a championship in my lifetime, it'll be amazing. And Nuggets didn't really kill basketball for me. Well, they did a little bit in the 90s. They were terrible. Late 90s, they were god-awful. But part of what killed basketball for me, and it almost killed hockey for me too, were the boring teams of the early 2000s. And when I talk boring teams, I talk about specifically the San Antonio Spurs. Just a horrifically boring style of basketball. And between that and having a local team that wasn't good, I was done. Didn't want to watch it anymore. So I'm done. I was done with basketball. And by the way, this comes with age. You realize as you creep closer to death, which is hopefully still 30 or 40 years away from me, you realize that, man, I don't have a lot of time to sit in front of a TV and just watch other guys do stuff. I got to do stuff. That's why I kind of do this and other things in comedy, and why I'm lucky enough to have a good job, and I try to get into my parenting. I try to live a life though, and when I get to the end, I go, oh shit, I spent 40% of it on TV and the other 33 and a third percent of it sleeping. That's not good. So anyway, so that's why I was done with basketball. Like I said, I was almost done with hockey because the Red Wings were the San Antonio Spurs of the hockey world. Very good, solid teams, but not exciting to watch. And that's why I come back to hockey. Okay, so you saw me bitch about football, all the rule changes, all the Brady worshiping, and that's why I'm pretty much done with football. Like I said, that's going to be hard for me because I think Denver will be good next year. They're either going to pick up a good quarterback, or I think they'll stick with Locke, and I think Locke will get there next year. If he doesn't get there next year, they have to go get someone else. Anyway, so back to hockey. Hockey saw what the Red Wings were doing. They're a very dominant team for, I'd say, they won in 97, 98. They won in '02. I think they won again in '05, something like that. And that was fine. They were very talented, but they get a 2-goal lead, and it was the most boring, soupy, sloppy shit you've ever seen. They do what's called neutral zone trap, which is still legal, but they took away some of the things that made neutral zone traps effective, and they opened up the game, which is great. And they took away fighting. I mean, I love nothing's better than two guys on ice skates fist fighting. It's an amazing skill set. You try it sometime. I can barely put on skates. Imagine putting on skates, trying to keep balance, and then trying to have some power behind a punch to punch another guy. You need to be quiet. You came in here. You need to wait on me for 4 minutes now. So let's continue with hockey. So hockey incorporated rules, unlike football, common sense rules that have made the game better. Football's refused to do this. Part of the reason my defection from football to hockey. Hockey has made obstruction rules that open the game up, make it faster. They've taken away most of the fighting. It was part of their code of being a hockey player back then. Now you still got to be a tough guy, and fighting is a skill you might need once in a while, but it's not like it used to be. They're taking out fighting. They're taking away some of the open ice hits that would put some of their superstars out of the game. They're protecting the superstars without just giving them every call. That's a big deal. Sidney Crosby will get a call once in a while. It's true, but it's not egregious, and it's not to the Brady-esque level of the NFL. So that I like. I like that they did some other common sense things. I'm going to let this cat out, or I'm going to kill him. You're a pain in the ass. I don't like you anymore. I still like him. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. Let's see. Used to be hockey could end in a tie, and the NHL finally said, "Yeah, that's really stupid." So we're going to have an overtime period, 5 minutes. It used to be 4-on-4. Now it's 3-on-3, and that really opens things up and really gives teams a good chance of scoring one way or the other. It's obviously way more equitable than football, where team that wins the coin toss statistically usually wins the overtime. So, you got three guys going up and down, and put your best skaters out there and let the chips fall where they may. After 5 minutes, if it ends in a tie, it's a shootout. Once again, put your best playmakers on the floor and see what they can do one-on-one with the goalie. Boom. That's great. So that's another reason I like hockey more than football at this point. Who knows? Maybe I'll change. I doubt it. I really like I said, those other sports, they've just fallen off. And really, as you get into the latter half of your life, you should probably not have as many sports to watch, like I mentioned earlier. And honestly, I refuse to get cable. I refuse to get satellite. I'm not going to do any of that. All I have is on-air TV and Netflix, and I watch a lot of YouTube, which is probably childish, but I don't care. So the good thing about YouTube is that when the Islanders win a game, and because I won't watch when they lose, because what's the point? You get like a 9, I think ESPN puts it out, I'm not sure, but it goes to YouTube, and it's a 9-minute synopsis of the game. That's all I need. I'm happy with that. For example, they beat the Rangers 2-0 last night. I just watched it for 9 minutes, and then I can get on with my day. I don't need to spend 2.5 hours watching the actual hockey game. I mean, there are times I like to do that in the playoffs. Maybe I will, but no one. And they're not going to broadcast the Islanders, no matter how good they get. It's a small market team. It's another reason I like them. And despite being in New York, they are definitely the little stepbrother of the Rangers, which is another reason I like them. Anyway, so I'm kind of babbling a little bit, but luckily I'm closing in on 10 minutes. I can't really think of too much else. The players in the National Hockey League don't seem to have as many issues, or at least you don't hear about them as much as the other sports. Once in a while, we had Patrick Waugh hit his wife like a long time ago, whenever that was, like 10, 15, 20 years ago. I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying it kind of highlights that stuff doesn't seem to happen a lot with hockey players. Another part of the reason to like the sport. And it moves. Like basketball. Same guys play on offense and defense, and it moves up and down the ice, and I love it. I'm up to 10 minutes. I hope you follow me. Come with me into the come join me and our Canadian friends and enjoy a hockey game. All right. Have a great night. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.